Hello and welcome everybody to Reluctant Rebel. I am back, and I'm here joined by Alec Baldwin's finger. He don't miss. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. Just enjoying my Sunday. Cleaned a couple guns. Played with my dog a little bit.
Hail Molly. Let's hear it in the chat. Hail Molly. Yeah, man, that's awesome. Nothing like cleaning guns and having companionship with one of the cutest doggos on the face of the earth. I'm hoping to see much fluffing of the bed. We're gonna need all the white pills we can get. So, next, in celebration of I think like 32 years of rooftop protection, we have Yo Pops. What is up, sir?
What's going on, fellas?
You keeping your store safe?
Yeah. I mean, that's why I couldn't come on the last couple times. Saw the riffraff out there. You know, had a
Take care of business.
don't really get too much reception up there. But I just want to say, AVF. What if you petted your guns and then cleaned your dog?
Then my dog would be very greasy.
Oh yeah, because dogs are never greasy. Yeah.
You should see my hands after I'm done cleaning guns.
Oh man, dude, that's one thing I am not good at all. I have a brother-in-law that helped me clean guns. That like I have a Cub gun from like 80 years ago, and it is I need to go do some interstate travel, like a certain Mr. Rittenhouse, and have you help me out. So.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, they need some attention. Anyways, so I'm not gonna bury the lead here. This is pretty exciting, honestly. The man, you've seen him in super chats. You've envied him for his ability to go around YouTube guidelines to get the message out about bridge. It is, for the first time on camera, on a stream, Hayden Wayne, 75.
What's up,
Hello,
guys?
sir.
How's it going? Hello.
So Erwin
on,
finally got you to go on camera. That
Dude.
and Gary.
It was Erwin, it was Gary, it was you guys. What you're doing, what you're making happen. Like, you get to the point that you're like, you know what? I've got enough to say, and enough people seem interested in what I have to say that I might as well roll the dice. Let's just see how this goes. Hell, risk it.
There you go.
John, what's up, man?
Ooh.
Look at that.
Oh,
What's up,
Everybody's
Sophie?
excited.
How's it going, guys?
Then
Oh, this is
Hoodie
awesome.
with
Bob Hoodie.
No,
testosterone.
thank you guys for bringing me on. Like, this is really cool, and it was, that push that I needed to just say, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it.
We're happy
There
to
you
have
go.
you.
The honor's
that's
all
great.
ours, man, to get such a big whale on the chats.
Swimming
over on our
around,
stream.
you know,
Come on, man. First
I'm
time,
around.
come on.
No, it's awesome, guys.
You want to talk about yourself a little bit, like where you're from,
totally,
what you do, or
introduce
anything?
I mean, yeah. So I'm I've lived a very interesting life, to say the least. So I grew up on a farm in Texas, and lived in a very small, sheltered kind of place. And I ended up getting into politics whenever I was about 12 years old.
Dang.
It was around the time that 9/11 happened, and my dad was very into politics, so it just kind of became the thing that was centered around, if the TV's on, it was something political. Then I started listening to political radio, and I'm not going to take the excuse that Erwin likes to take of, I'm sorry, I was busy fighting a culture war, because I did still watch movies and did still, watch some TV and stuff. But I didn't realize that this was where the fight is until just a couple of years ago. I was deep in the political fight. Online, I was arguing with people left and right about what my opinions were, and realizing that nobody was really reachable. Then 2020 happens, and one of the political shows that I was frequently watching, Jeremy and Ryan happened to pop up, And I had no idea who they were, but I was like, okay, you know what? I like what these guys are saying. I like what they're trying to do. They're talking about how the war is more in the nerd space, and I'm kind of there. I don't know a whole lot, but I know a little bit. I like this stuff. So I, looked them up on YouTube and subscribed to them. And at the time, I wasn't really watching YouTube very much or doing anything like that. So I subscribed to them for almost 2 years and never watched a single video that they put out. Then we get to about 2021, 2022, and I start realizing that in the political space, we're starting to just lose ground completely, whether that be because of previous elections or something else that was going on. It drove me to look for, where's that actual battle taking place? Where is the front line of the battle? Because where we're at in the political space, nothing's happening. We're not changing any minds. The minds have already been made up. Then I see Quarterback Garrett leaves Louder with Crowder, shows up as a guest one day and goes, yeah, I'm over on the Nerdrotic channel. We have Friday Night Tights every Friday. I was like, yeah, okay, I'm going to check that out. I'm going to see what's going on over there. And I see Jeremy and Ryan. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I followed those guys a couple years ago. So then I start diving into YouTube and looking, and I'm like, oh, this is the space where it's all happening. I was aware of Gamergate whenever it happened, but didn't know a ton about what was going on, kind of the surface level, journalists and game devs, and okay, there's some intermingling going on there. And they're pushing out these ideas to people. All right. And as I started to look more and more into it, I figured out this is the space to be. If you care about making a change, it all stems from this spot. In culture, in the internet, in all aspects of life. This is the spot that impacts everyone. And everyone can go, yeah, you're right. I do care about that. What they're doing is wrong, and we should probably say something. And nobody fights harder than the nerds.
Yep.
Was it politics downstream from culture, I believe?
Yep. That's
who's
the
that?
saying.
No, not Savage. Is it
It was
Breitbart, I believe?
Breitbart. Yep.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Well, I mean, it does seem like an entire generation is starting to get fed up, just like you are, just like we are.
Right.
And we actually have our first topic. Let me share my screen here, which is all these college frat boys. I don't know if you guys saw this famous picture of them protecting the U.S. flag in front of was it the LSU college?
Yeah.
I think
These
so, yeah.
guys, man.
Or UNC. This one's
Yeah.
UNC.
It's who would have thought that it's the frat boys that are going to come save America, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it had to be. I think it had to start there because that's where the indoctrination has taken its biggest hold.
Yeah.
So then you get these group of rebellious young men that go, no, we're not playing that game anymore. And then they just step up and they take it and they make a joke of it. And it's chef's kiss. Like it's beautiful. I love to see it.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just want to say it's just crazy how like everything shifted because when I was younger in high school it was like the whole like how do I say like being on the left was like rebellious thing. Like, you know what I mean? The left side part was like the the rebellious thing, like punk rock, yeah, down with the establishment, like and then now it's like, oh no, like gotta have a family, that's how you go against
punk rock.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Right.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where we've truly seen a massive shift in what liberal actually means, like the definition that people follow. Because at one point, the liberal definition was stepping back and saying, let people do what they want to do.
Yeah.
And now it's shifted to become no, this is the ideology you must follow. You must stay inside of the lanes that we have set for you. Otherwise, you're the worst person on the planet.
Well, you got co-opted. I wouldn't say
Yeah,
tricked. I would say it got
absolutely.
co-opted. You know what I mean?
Absolutely
They
co-opted.
they take words and they change the definitions of them to confuse people and all that. And
Yep, it's the
that's where we're
Marxists.
at now. Yep. Right.
It's all
Yeah,
Marxism.
but as is with language, as is with culture, as with society, you push too hard down on that spring, the children of that generation, the next, we're inherently. Oh, ho, 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 ho. I sent out the bat signal, and look who shows up.
Oh, there he is. What's up, Jeremy?
What's
Boy.
up, Jeremy?
Man, I wish I could get the cops to show up to my house that fast. All right, I just did it like 2 minutes ago. So yeah, hell yeah.
I think I think Jeremy's just worried, because Hayden's here, and Hayden's like his biggest supporter, so he's just keeping tabs on Hayden right now.
He's got to make sure I don't step too far outside the lines.
Yeah.
We're taking everybody,
We're messing
Jeremy.
with you,
They're all
Jeremy.
coming. The GCA is a virus and it's spreading. Everybody-
GCA is on the rise. You guys are going to have something big here.
We're taking all your super chats.
We're not even monetized
Better get that
yet.
Mustang worked on real quick, son.
Here's the thing. I don't have to super chat anymore. I have a microphone.
Oh!
Oh no! Oh no!
Oh, I hate to tell you guys, our stream just got taken down. Somebody reported us. All right.
Yeah.
Apparently, he's a comedian named Jeremy Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
really
right. Oh shit.
But, no, man, it's amazing. Like I see it with my son and everything like that, and and almost like it's amazing because guess what? As after Gen Z, my son is in this generation. You know what they call the generation after Gen Z?
What?
Gen Alpha.
Alpha.
Let's
Let's
fucking
go. The alphas take over. And that's how it's got to be. We're in the middle of the fourth turning. Like this is the worst time for society that we've seen in a couple hundred years.
See you, Jeremy. Thanks for stopping in. Sorry.
Jeremy, have
See
a
you,
good
Jeremy.
one, man. But
Thanks for letting us borrow.
See you later.
we're in a spot that we've witnessed happen several times before, right? It's here we go. Let's take the how often does your boyfriend think about the Roman Empire meme. The Roman Empire had a very similar situation whenever it collapsed. The degeneracy started running rampant through society, and the people who were trusted to hold power had decided that they were going to do whatever was in their best interest. And that's how Rome ended up collapsing. And we're looking at something that's extremely similar to what we saw back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, thing is, it took them so long for that to happen, and our country's so young, and for it to, it's so quick as far as America. It's a timeline. You know what I mean? And man, I don't know. I know everyone says don't be black-pilled about this and that, but sometimes, man,
But here's
I don't know.
My opinion is very similar to what Kirsha says all the time, and I'm a big fan of her. Her message all the time is don't be black-pilled. Look at what you can change in your life, in your locality, and fight for that. As long as we're doing that all over the place, we'll be able to make the change.
That's right.
That's one of the reasons that I've been so, heavy-handed in, hey, we've got all of these things going on, like people pay attention. It's because an individual may not make the mass change that we all want to see, for like example, whenever it comes to the presidential election, Donald Trump's going to save the world. Well, no, it's the people who support him and him spearing up the leadership of saying, these are the ways that we need to be trying to make things happen. Him refusing to, whenever he had full right to institute martial law back in 2020, and he decided not to. He said, no, we're not going to do that. Local people need to handle this. That's where it started. You can't do top down.
And
That's right.
that's why people like Trump, is because all we want is populism is the best is the best way to go about things.
Absolutely.
The-
And that's why these guys that we're about to check out, they are the heroes that are going to end up sparking that bit of, I want to say a certain word, but not, because it's YouTube. Resistance, let's say that. They're the ones sparking the resistance of, it's okay to stand up against this crap. It's okay to tell people no and to laugh at them for what they're doing and make a meme out of it, make a joke out of it. That's how we win.
Oh, and absolutely, this is like, okay, so let's say like if a really good meme is like like cocaine. This is like fish scale. This is like the best of it. It's like you can almost OD on what you're about to see. If you need a white pill in your life, people, you're about to get OD'd on white pills. Let's go. Come on, Alec. Let's go.
Hang on. We shouldn't start off with that one. Let's start off with.
Hey, you don't miss. You go ahead. Go ahead. Let it rip.
This is a pretty.
Oh no,
good
there's no audio. Oh, X video.
Next video.
No audio. I'm not hearing any audio, my man. Sorry.
So they're telling they'll give $100 if she can do a push-up. These are the frat boys protecting the front of the building from the Palestinian people. Let's see, where
we
was
need
it? Dang
Need
it!
the sound for that one.
Can
We
someone
need
find the
the
original
sound.
video?
Hey, we're more than 10 minutes in. We can get the nasty right here. So.
Yes. This is great though. The LSU posing.
It is. That's such a good pose, dude.
You guys have
This
the
is
one.
funny.
I think it was LSU, but they were they're like, hey, how they were talking about how Palestine has 0 national championships. They were totally making a meme out of that. It was the funniest thing ever, dude.
Oh
That
my
would be
God.
LSU.
Yeah,
I think I saw
LSU
that
likes
one.
to. LSU
Yeah.
likes to piss on people's heads for championships. That sounds about on brand. They love. Yeah. Oh, we need audio. What?
Yeah, still got no audio on
It's
that.
so
You don't have
good.
audio?
No, that's what I was trying to say. Okay, so he does miss, but not if you're a production assistant. If you're sitting behind a camera, your ass is getting bullseyed.
I guess I need to share entire screen.
All right, let's go. All right. Yeah. Nope.
Nothing.
No audio. StreamYard sucks, people. If there's anybody out there as a programmer, do better. No
All
audio.
these young kids. We thought they were indoctrinated, but
Yeah,
when they got
no audio on that. What the hell?
Yeah,
On
here,
this
send me the
too?
link and see if it's
Yeah.
just to your side. Yeah.
Is
Send
your
me- send me
sound
the,
on, ABF? Come on.
dude, it's on. I can hear it.
Oh.
Oh, you can hear
Hang
it.
on.
Good for you. No.
Transcribe
Also,
request.
Chad, what is up? I think ABF is. I think he's starting to turn a little. I don't know.
Hey,
Look
Mm,
at that shirt.
I-
Look at that shirt.
well, I think if there's a female director in front of him, he wouldn't miss. But
and
No, it's called. Stop.
There, right there.
All right, screen cap. I
But
know I
really-
just did. Let's see.
And racism. Yeah, I don't know why. I was sharing audio both times.
It's StreamYard. It's StreamYard.
I'll start dropping links in the private chat.
Yeah. I'll see. Okay, so see, Hayden, you're like we're setting the we stumbled so you could kind of trip.
Just wait until I fall down the stairs. That's going to be glorious forever.
Oh, dude, holy shit, we did a header over the banister recently, so it's okay.
hey, well, Hayden, could I ask you a quick question, man?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. So when you were saying, you were heavy into like the whole politics, like as far as like news and stuff back when you were younger. What was the some of the people you were listening to back then?
So back then, I think a lot of it that I remember from the earlier time it was mostly it was generic Fox News and Rush Limbaugh, right?
Okay.
Like it was. I was young enough at that time that I don't actually remember, and I've drank a lot since then and slept a couple of times. I don't remember who all was actually on at that time, but I remember just keeping up with, kind of on the conservative leaning side of things of what was going on in politics. And then, one of my most memorable moments of actually fighting for more of the right side of stuff was whenever I was in college, and I had a criminal psychology teacher. Back then I still believed in the FBI and wanted to work and be on the side of law enforcement.
I'm a TJ Major too, man. So.
Okay. So
I know what's
so
up. Yeah.
we were doing a segment of the class where our final was leading into. She wanted us to write a psychological profile analysis of a serial killer, and I chose Che Guevara.
Shit.
And her and the class all did not like the choice of Che Guevara. And I had to make the argument of why Che Guevara was a serial killer. And she eventually, this teacher from California who's in the middle of Texas, eventually had to concede the point and go, well, okay, I can see how you would say that, but
Nice.
pick somebody different.
Oh God!
And so I ended up going along with it, and I wrote a psychological profile over Richard Kuklinski, the Iceman.
Yeah.
And then there was a time that I remember her bringing up, there is no war on Christmas. Conservatives are crazy. They're going into all of these things. And I was like, no, there is. This is a cultural push that's happening. And, that should have been the moment that I realized, oh, the battle's not here. But it ended up being an argument of me versus the other 36 people in the class all yelling at me about how I was wrong, but I was firm on what I thought. And I stood there and argued. And at the end of, the 15-minute derailment that happened there, when I said, I closed my argument with, I'm here for you to teach me criminal psychology, not for you to preach your politics to me.
Ooh.
And she started clapping.
Oh, sure.
And as she started clapping, other people started clapping. It was a literal everybody clapped moment.
Oh my God.
And she goes, you remind me of the people that are from my hometown in California. You stick by your guns no matter how many people are coming after you. And I hope you never lose that.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then I got a bunch of emails at the end of the day from my fellow students that were saying, hey, man, well, I was with you the whole time. I just didn't know what to say. And it was like, okay, thank you guys for at least showing me a little support. Come on.
Yeah, that's funny.
From then on, this teacher that I was ideologically opposed with, her and I got along really well because we just had the basic understanding of if you believe something, stick with it.
Yep.
But she was one of the people that was indoctrinating and brainwashing people as well. So, take
it's
that.
You move the needle a little bit more to the right, and that's the most important thing. And that's the thing. The problem with the left right now is they're bad faith. They're trying to change language, like Yo Pops was saying. There's people in our life. I'm sure all of you. Well, maybe I don't know, but as long as you can do good faith debate, give salient points of what you believe in, even if I don't agree with it, we're cool. If you start calling me an istophobe and all that stuff, that's the problem I have because I've already won. You're a weak-minded ideologue. Yep. It's the people that are like, well, you know what, man? I don't agree with this. I don't agree with the immigration thing. I got a friend I play with out in Lake Tahoe. On video games, and he tells me, and I'm like, well, yeah, but you also have the coyotes and all the trafficking and stuff like it's like, so you have these conversations, and he's kind of been woken up to it. It's just like there, not to go biblical or anything, but there is a thing like where Jonah, and the whale. He's supposed to go to Nineveh, and he's supposed to preach in the word. Like if you're preaching conservatism in a red state, you ain't gonna do shit, people. Like seriously. Yep. You have to get into the belly of the beast. That's the only way it's going to change. Which, if we can get the gosh darn audio to play on these videos, we're going to show you how you do it. So,
it's going to be glorious.
If you don't mind, Hayden.
Got it.
All right.
Okay.
I put a bunch
got
of
it.
It's on
products
me.
out there.
All right. Yes, we got so many. Oh, it's like a box of chocolates, without the dark chocolate orange ones, because those fucking suck.
The
All right.
ones with the penises.
Yes.
kidding.
What?
Oh, well,
What kind of chocolate?
I don't know where you're shopping.
Penis
but okay.
chocolate.
See, I'm not getting any audio from this. It's not-
I hear it. Actually, college students chanting USA.
Bullets out there, they're not like, that's so cool, man. It's
That's what I've got audio.
There's a tear in
Yeah.
my eye.
Oh, I said. All right,
I'll pause it.
down the
Now,
row here. Let's LP on White Pills. So let's go to the next one. Go to the next one. Oh, there's so many good ones here. I fuck.
The last one that I posted there from mostly peaceful memes.
All right.
That's
Oh,
the
you want me
original
to do
video.
This on. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, AB. I'm telling. Okay, he missed earlier, but we're gonna forget that.
I didn't miss.
He did miss.
Software
He
was,
didn't
was
miss.
broken.
It's ISP hate.
Yeah, I was getting DDoS.
Oh yeah, with his FiOS internet. What a piece of shit setup he has. All right, so. Oh,
Like you're one
this
to
is my
talk.
favorite one. This
Mr.
one got me
Freeze
so
every
excited.
5 seconds.
Ah,
It's
shit.
Yes, dude. That's it. That's how you win. You can look at that crowd and you can tell who's having fun and who's scared for no reason.
By the way, word to the wise from somebody that's been around for a while: if there's a boss with a Fu Manchu, do not even remotely fuck with that man. That man is going to put you on the ground and take your lunch money. All right, do not mess with that man. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, I think the stream I was watching, the someone was calling the kid in the overalls Rex Kondo. It's the funniest thing ever.
What's that? Lock her up. Ole Miss, baby. Hottie toddy to my Ole Miss people. Hottie toddy. All right.
The guy with the overalls is so funny.
Dude.
Oh my god.
He's so good, man.
I forget who I was watching, but they were calling him Rex Kondo, and that shit cracked me the fuck up, dude. And they're like, "Oh, look at Rex Kondo over there." I was like, "Oh my god."
That is so amazing. All right, on to the next one. We're gonna have to like just shove these white pills down our throat because it's gonna get a little rough after this one. As Hayden. But let's go.
Yeah.
Let's get it coursing through your veins. I want white pills coursing through our veins. Let's go. Twitter video needs to fix, man. I'm like trying to stop the video and it's like no.
Is it like buffering?
No, it just wants to keep going. No, I have the exact opposite. It's like Elon Musk. It's autistic and just wants to take off immediately. It's just like,
Reluctant boomer fan.
You're facts! You're facts! You're facts! You're facts! You're facts!
Oh,
No, I just
shit.
want to point out that the person they're saying is fat is
Be quiet, be quiet, be
heavily
quiet.
called a tanky.
What?
A tanky.
Oh
A
yeah.
tanky.
That's one of those gigantic Antifa people.
Oh my god.
Tanky, that's awesome.
Well, see, tanky used to mean that you were a like a radical communist, like Tiananmen Square type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that used to be tanky, and now they've morphed the phrase to be "you're a fatty commie bitch."
Co-opt
so
everything.
great.
You know what? What's good for the goose is good for the goslin. Let's go.
True.
Turnabout is fair play. All right, let's. All right, everybody in the chat with me. Everybody on the panel. The fragrance of this is just wonderful. White pills smell so good. They taste wonderful.
They
Let's
do
fucking
indeed.
go.
Hey, be quiet, be quiet, be quiet.
Give me one.
Hey, okay, pause it real quick because I want to make a point of something.
Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Notice how in that video, yes, they're screaming, "You're a fat, you suck," you know, but they don't disrespect the "you guys stay over here" line, right?
Yeah.
They stay within the area that they're like, okay, you guys stay over here, these guys stay over here. You always see the other side crossing that line and trying to get right up in the face of everyone that disagrees with them.
Mhm.
Where this is the side that doesn't have a propensity for violent conflict, right? It's a, yeah, we're gonna yell at you and we're gonna laugh at you, but you know, we're not trying to start anything. We're not gonna touch anybody. We're not gonna hurt anybody. We're seeing a lot of that lately, where people on one side say, "Hey, I'm not here to cause any problems, but you know, you're in my way, so I'm gonna try to move past you, but my hands are up." And you see the other side throwing things at people.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. So, my whole political thing, my whole political like awakening started back. It's definitely after high school, and then like during high school, 9/11 happened, but I was very left leaning back then, you know, and I was definitely like the whole, you know, like fuck Bush, you know, no blood for oil, all that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then,
first of all, fuck Bush still, but go ahead.
Also,
still.
fuck Bush.
I just want to make sure.
Exactly.
I don't want Yo Pops to seem like he's a neocon. That's not fair. So.
No.
Once upon a time, I was
No,
pro Bush, and then I was like, "Oh, these people suck too." So,
No.
So
I was definitely what you would say like on the left, right? But I didn't know any better. And then, you know, as my awakening kind of started happening, I been to a few like protests and stuff, and then like not on the left side, but it was more during when Trump first got in, and there was like a bunch of rallies in my area where I lived. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go check it out. I like to record, and actually I think I have some stuff on my channel that I recorded. But I remember seeing signs, and this was before we saw the prevalence of Antifa, and they used to be black bloc back then, right?
yeah.
But they had signs, and I remember one thing that really stood out to me was BAMF by any by any means necessary, right? And
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah, and that pretty much like it is their mantra. They are willing to do whatever means necessary to further their cause, and that is up to and including violence.
Absolutely.
Right?
As long as they win, that's all that matters.
Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people realize that, because I think on I'm just going to say for sake of argument, left, right, just to make it easy.
Mm-hmm.
The right side is very, you know, we want order, we want politeness, we want, you know, to make sure that we don't go that way. But the other side is completely, they are willing to do whatever it takes to further their cause. And
They will lie, cheat, and steal as long as they end up on top and they win the battle.
Yep, and I think what these kids are doing is great, because they should be ridiculed. They should be made fun of. They should, you know, we shouldn't, you know, try to reason with them, because they're unreasonable people, right?
Bring shame back.
We need to shame these people and ridicule. These are not serious people. These are not, you know, they're just they're crazy people. They're fucking crazy people. And
Absolutely. And that's something that we used to have buildings that we would lock these people in and not let them out.
Yes.
And then we closed them all down, and now they're just running society because.
Thank you, Reagan.
Because
thank you. I was about to say.
Yes. Absolutely.
If you think there's a good side and a bad side, you know who the good side is? The people. You know who the bad side is? The government. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, you know, Reagan did a lot of great things. He said a lot of good things, but he also equally fucked up about as much as he did good.
Hey, he started gun control in California. He was pretty much the, when Black Panthers went and protested at the Capitol, that's the reason why we don't have open carry. California used to have open carry back in the day, but then, oh no, he was the first one to do all the gun control stuff here. So
And I think the thing that you have to look at is you have to go, it's not just the government, it's the establishment. It's this group of people who have had this incestuous way that they've constantly built in more and more of their own, backing them in the bureaucracy. So we see the front-facing view of all of these people, the names that have risen to the top, but we don't know the names, like, up until 2020, say, right? Nobody knew who Brennan was. He's been pulling strings in the CIA forever, and nobody knew who he was until Trump started calling him out.
And then, you have the international cabal as well. That goes, way deeper than that. Yeah, of course. Yeah. I had a point I was gonna say too, but the other side, the leftists always keep on saying, "Oh, fascist this, fascist that," but what is?
They're the fascists.
They are.
Yeah, and then pretty much private industry, government colluding together to keep control of the population, to keep the status quo. That's fascism of itself. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Using violence as a means to a political end is basically the definition of fascism.
Yeah.
Definition of terrorism.
It's also where private industry is being used by the government or doing things that the government tells them to do. It's a cooperation between private industry and the government. That was the original definition of fascism. At least back in the day it was.
Yeah. Hey, Lady D. Lady Aaron D.
Oh.
Lady Aaron D. Hello.
Avatar there. I like that. So if everybody remembers from, I think it was pre-2020, it was that weak-ass, disgusting, dried-up professor. She's from the University of Missouri.
Which one?
Where she's like, we need some muscle over here. We need some muscle over here.
Oh, yep.
Well, guess what? Another white pill incoming, people. Let's go. We're coming back. We're coming back. White pill incoming. Let's see here. Unfortunately, StreamYard sucks, and I'm trying to share the screen. It's really true about the two screens here. And there we go. This guy's.
We the communists are here.
Oh my god. That's awesome.
We the communists are here.
USA! 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 USA!
Isn't it crazy
University
that we
of
have...
Missouri, one of the wokest places on the face of the earth, by the way, if you're not familiar.
Yeah, but dude, we have people walking down the street with symbols of communism. That's actually illegal in our country to be a communist. You know that?
Yes. Okay.
When they got rid of McCarthy
was right.
McCarthy was right. And he didn't go far enough. Communists aren't people. Why are we pretending
You know what
they
he
are?
should have said? He should have said, "Have you no decency, sir?" It's like, there's no decency in war, motherfucker. I'm coming for you. I mean, unfortunately, action movies didn't exist then, but AI, we're gonna rectify that. If they can change history, we can too.
Damn right.
He just pulls out a samurai sword and just swings, and
I don't know, man, that shit just pisses me off to no end, dude. The communists wrecked fucking Korea, and they totally divided Korea up, and you got families that haven't. My grandpa, for instance, dude, when my grandparents escaped, before the war happened, they haven't seen their family since. They don't know what happened to him. My grandpa fucking died. Obviously he had his, family that he raised, I'm his grandchild, his son, and, his daughters and all that. But like his family, he never knew what happened to him afterwards, and these pinko bastards are, they want that. They want, sorry, I'm just.
No. You're 100% correct, because it's the Marxists and the communists that have come in to every aspect of our lives, and they are still pushing. They're still pushing harder. They're still pushing further. They won't stop.
Yep.
And we have to find the ways to push back before it ever comes to a point of, a second American Revolution. We still have the time to stop that, but we all have to know what's going on.
Yep.
Yeah, but I have a person in the chat that it's very on point with. You need to learn how to change it. Isaac, all right. You need to stop Asian misspellings. Every time you say "stop Asian hate," you keep putting the A and the I in the wrong direction. Seriously,
I didn't even notice that.
You know what? You're incurring Asian hate. That would get you less than 100 on a test, and that's how you get your ass beat if you're Asian. All right, Asian, ASIAN, and it's capitalized. All right. Damn it.
Oh,
sorry.
man.
So. We've had a heap of help in white pills because we got to kind of bring it up, but we've come to the portion of the program where you're gonna hit. Oh, thank you.
Jakey's always on point.
He is.
Oh man. Thank you. If you ever make a meme
All
about
right,
me,
Nagranol,
I know you'll do me proud.
kick this commie out of my chat right now. 2 + 2 doesn't equal 5, and that's not how you spell Asian. At least he capitalized it. Damn. All right. So,
it's an
Go Pilots.
what does Gary say? Progress, not perfection.
Oh my God. Asians always get the short end of the stick.
So we'll go a little later than an hour tonight because this is really important. But I feel like we're up to here with the white pill. I can never get enough, but for tonight we're right here. So. What I would like to do is I want to give the floor, and I mean this figuratively and literally. I'm going to put you on a solo layout there, Hayden. I want you to kind of break it down. If you don't know, if you're not, I'm gonna give an introduction to everybody so we kind of know what direction. And you let me know if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody's, and this is how ideologues work. They kind of do this, and then they have something else going on over here.
Right.
So DEI is basically DEI and ESG is basically it's outed. People, a lot of normies are wise to it. Not all of them, but way more than a few years ago. But there's this new insidious thing that's looking to, and it's already kind of gotten its tentacles in some things. But with Hayden, he is uniquely tuned into this thing called Bridge, which was is the title of the stream. I see you, YouTube. That's not a capital I. That's a lowercase L. You're too fucking stupid to catch it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give Hayden the stage here, and I want him to explain and share this everywhere. Clip it, share it if it's pertinent to the people in your life. If you're trying to change people's minds, I've talked to Hayden for a few minutes before the stream. This guy is the real deal. He's a very knowledgeable dude. And what he's about to tell you and break down for you is very important. So, Hayden, you have the stage, sir.
All right. So, first off, I want to say the reason that I am as tuned into this as I am is because I'm a fan of Kirsha Verstal on Twitter, the VTuber Kirsha. She has she accidentally discovered this company that is taking all of the DEI positions that we've all seen seeping into everything. There is a company run by a woman named BRlDGE that is bringing in a multitude of other international companies, including firms like BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, and their goal is to take the DEI stuff that we've all had shoved on us constantly, and instead of it being just in the HR department where it used to come from, we'd hear these stories about how, the HR department says you have to have, this much representation, you have to have these certain amounts of this color, this race, this whatever in these different departments within a massive company. They're taking that, and their goal for companies like Campbell's Soup, for Sony, Sony's one of the members, all of these massive international companies are now taking that and moving it out of the HR department and making it a part of every aspect of your life, using things like video games. And this is something that I think a lot of the people involved in the Stellar Blade controversies and what's going on with Helldivers now, we're seeing Sony at the pinnacle of that. They're moving this into a position that you're not able to escape from it ever. They want it to come to a point that whenever you see the, shall we say, manly female character in a game, you don't think anything of it because you see it all the time. That means that in your life, whenever you start to see these things, you're not going to take it and it be in its own little, that's weird. No, it's just going to be a normal part of every day and how you live your life. In your movies, in your games, in your music, whenever you go to work, you have to see these people every day, constantly. And the goal is that that becomes normal. It's the phase of normalization of what DEI started as a whole. If they can make it normal in your life, they can gain a few more inches and move even further into the takeover of everyone must be represented in the sense that you have to secede your ability to speak out to someone else who they say is a suppressed group. And this company only wants to make that normal so that we have no more escape.
Yeah, man, that is. And by the way, if you don't clip that and share that, you are hurting society. I'm dead serious. Oh, and by the way, also, truth. That's some luscious locks right there. No, seriously.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Seriously, no, that is the like everybody else on the panel. I think we all agree, and everybody in the chat, and anybody with ears and half a brain. That is the most concise, reasonable way to explain what is going on with Bridge. Like, that is, you just summed up. Like, that should be shared across the internet. You know.
Well, that was stream of consciousness, so I hope it came across the right way of.
Oh my goodness! I'm glad
like
we backed
clear
up.
and concise.
Our stupid asses were confused behind the scene. That's why we put you on solo, so because you're like deep into it. So.
Well, if you want to, depending, I don't know how long you guys want to go. I've got a couple of Kirsch's tweets to look at, and Jessica Lindstrom's article that I talked with her a little bit about it, and she's published it on Geeks and Gamers. She did a fantastic job of giving a 10,000-foot view of what's actually going on with Bridge, which again is a company, and then we can go over that. We can look at a couple of Kirsch's tweets where she's got a couple of 5-ish minute videos that are the people that, yeah.
They intentionally want it to be hard to understand.
Absolutely. That's the whole goal. They don't want you to know exactly what they're doing.
Yep.
But and Kirsha has gone off on this on multiple streams that are 5 to 6 hours long. And luckily I was sitting there watching most of them. So I got to see her, my autistic fox waifu deep dive into this and start digging all of this stuff up. I think I've got one of her first tweets about it where she mentioned she discovered that Campbell's was backing a a video game tournament. But then Campbell's is one of the companies that's part of Bridge, and she later goes on. We won't go into all of it because she's going to be on Geeks and Gamers Daily tomorrow, and she'll be able to dive into this stuff. But insofar as just a quick view, I've got a couple things I could pull up if you guys want to. But I think starting with Jessica's article is probably the best place to start, just because she did a lot of work digging a lot of this stuff up. And she did a great job of presenting it in a way that you can look at it and it just makes you go, wait, what the fuck? And it might spark the curiosity.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, we can touch into it. And as we talked about earlier, you're uniquely tuned into this. I unfortunately was thrown into the prior version, which is DEI and ESG. But it's important to understand the intricacies of how they try to move forward, because they're trying to, if I use a basketball term, they're trying to do a crossover. They're trying to disorient the. Sorry, I said orient. Yo, Bobs. Disorient. Disorient the opposition. You're trying to get them off their their solid stance. You want them to be disjointed, because once you reestablish yourself, then things are going. You're like, okay, what's going to happening? And thankfully, I think you would agree, Hayden, people are becoming more and more aware of this stuff.
Absolutely.
You don't need all the normies to figure it out. There's people that just, it'll never affect them or anything like that. It will at some point if it doesn't get better. But for those of us that are...
That's where Bridge comes from, is the DEI initiative. They weren't able to push hard enough just in the HR departments. So people like you, Mo, at your previous job, like hearing about stuff going on, they weren't able to get it deep enough. And that's where the Bridge company ended up being formed, was that they weren't able to push significantly enough onto people just from HR. People started blowing off HR like it was some kind of joke. At one point, HR was a place that if you were having problems in work, you would go talk to your HR person and they would help you solve those problems. And eventually it became a place where Karens lodged complaints. That was because they were pushing the DEI thing from there. So the goal of Bridge is to take it out of HR and make it where you don't get to escape. You have to live with it.
It almost seems like all of that was just a test run to see what they could get away with, and they just started fine-tuning everything. So I feel like after Bridge, if this doesn't work, then like, okay, this aspect didn't work, they're probably going to come up with another one, so on and so forth.
They're already keying up for that, I think, personally, because, as everybody knows, I talk about it all the time. Kirsha went on the Side Scrollers YouTube channel and talked to them about Bridge. For the past couple of weeks, I have not been able to super chat and say Bridge as a full capitalized word in the Side Scrollers channel, but I can do it in other places who haven't really talked about it very much.
Really?
Interesting.
Kirsha's been on vacation for 2 weeks, so I don't know if I can do it in her channel yet, but YouTube has taken notice, and you can't do it on Side Scrollers. Now, if you put a space in between B.R.l.D.G.E and G.E, you can do it.
Yeah, no, it's totally true.
But I think they're also using AI to analyze the context of what's being said. And if you're talking about something happening with a bridge somewhere, yeah, that'll get through.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're talking about the Bridge company, you cannot. And I think that's where it came. Where I saw this was as I was trying to type a super chat talking about Bridge, and it was like it can't be submitted. And I was like, oh, are there other words? Like, did I say something weird here? Okay, hang on. And I started reading over it, and I was like, no, there's nothing weird here. So I just clicked on Bridge and hit space in between the D and the GE, and the super chat went through.
Sure.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So they've taken notice, and I think they're getting ready to start to make another shift at some point. But right now we're in the spot where they just try to get us to stop talking about it.
It's
So
an
it's
election
important
year.
that we keep going. Exactly. Election year. It's important that we bring this up. We show people. And once again, all credit to Kirsha for actually digging this up, because I'm just a follower of her, a fan of her, and have seen her talking about it and didn't see anybody else bringing it up. So I poked people enough about it that Jessica so graciously picked up the task of actually digging through some of it and setting up an article.
Yeah.
Did you want to pull up that article on your screen?
Yeah, absolutely. I can share that, and
And
we
Jess
can
is
read
a salt of
through
the
it.
earth person. It's she is very, very, very. She's what journalism should be. She looks at it, she assesses it, and she reports on it, and that's what most people should aspire to be.
All right, let's
So-
see. That's sized a little weird. Let me see if I can. Sorry, guys. I'm on a laptop with a single screen, so it's kind of.
Hey, I'm on a
It
phone
doesn't
right
matter.
now.
You could have a stock trader's 8 screens, and StreamYard will suck on all of them. So
that's fair.
yes.
So yeah, Jessica wrote this article the other day, and I, talked with her a little bit about it, and kind of pointed her to a few things that I thought was important, and then she just kind of took the reins of it, and over the course of a couple of days, she put this whole thing together, and like I said, it's a fantastic 10,000 foot view of what's actually going on. So, let's see. She says DEI has infected everything from films, books, video games, beauty products, and even foods. What is the reasoning for this? Why now? And most of all, how many entities are leading the charge? There are many conspiracies regarding the topic, and whether true or not, these questions should be asked. We will begin here with a company using the acronym BRlDGE, founded by CEO B.R.l.D.G.E. The forerunner of bringing this sinister company to light is VTuber Kirsha, who's been speaking out about BRlDGE from the start. It formerly stood for Benchmarking Race, Inclusion, and Diversity in Global Engagement. Back in August of 2023, now, since March of this year, the launch of the new website, there have been a few changes to it. Belonging, representation, inclusion, diversity, G for the gap in all of these things, and equity.
Ew. Sorry.
Yeah.
I just threw up in my mouth a little.
It's
Not
awful.
only because I had a lot to drink at Cinco de Mayo night, but
Oh yeah, happy Cinco de Mayo, everybody.
Hayden,
I
did you
completely
notice
forgot about it.
Did you notice
Yeah.
the chat that Side Scrollers highlighted the other day that said Hayden bridges the gap for us?
Yes, I did see that.
That's good. That's
Hey,
really
but you
good.
know what? The more of a meme it becomes, the more people actually see it.
Exactly.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay, so this video, here, we'll just read what Kirsha says about it real quick. I've got the whole thing pulled up, so I'll read the longer version and then I'll jump back over there.
okay. So before you start, before I say anything, even though the play button is in front of this, whatever this is, his face, these are the people that are trying to push these miserable, soulless, dead inside people. Go ahead.
Along
Absolutely.
with 10 cats.
Look at
The-
that.
these
You're
are
just
the
blocking
people.
her jowls and her nose, and she's disgusting. And we already know. We only see 50% of her face, but we know 100% that she's a piece of shit.
Yeah, this is the woman who has ties to it's got an acronym like the WEF. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is, but she's
Slugs.
she's deeply tied in. So in Kirsha's tweet here, she says, if you're someone just starting to pay attention to what's going on with Gamergate 2 and how journalists, game consultants, and game devs are all ignoring reality to try and cover up who started the harassment, as well as cite the "you can't be racist against white people, I see no discrimination here," when the words of SBI employees being racist are posted, I implore you to look into BRlDGE. I've been talking about SBI, Sweet Baby Inc., and BRlDGE for a long time and have a lot of threads I've already made public. Sweet Baby Inc. is not a scapegoat. They are not a symptom of a problem. They are an arm of the problem. This isn't about video games. This isn't a niche thing only certain people care about. This is an all-encompassing issue, and they want to make it so you can't escape the principles of DEI. DEI has existed for decades, long before any of us were born. It reincarnates with different names, but it is always pushed by the same Marxist ideologues who seek to subvert culture. This is being pushed in video games, in comics, in movies, in music, in the corporations and brands you see or buy from every day. Did you think it was weird that the US and Canadian governments were getting involved in something as niche as video games drama? It's not. The time for strife has ended, and the time for normalization has come. Larry Fink said they must force behaviors, and that is exactly what they're doing. Here's the CEO of B.R.l.D.G.E, BRlDGE, telling you directly how they operate and what the goals are. So that's this video that we have here. Let me see if I can.
That bridge
full
is an
screen.
acronym for belonging, representation, inclusion, diversity, is the gap in all of those things, and then the E is equity. And our mission is really about moving the narrative of DE&I away from philosophy to operationalizing inclusion as a business practice. So our North Star is that. Our North Star is not necessarily marketing per se, because we believe that inclusion needs to cross the entire organization, marketing included, but everywhere from organizational practices all the way to advocacy. And so the way that we come at it is that we look at the business practices. Our goal is really about operationalizing inclusion, as I said, as a business practice, not a philosophy anymore.
Yeah.
And to your point, Sasha, what that does is it removes the dependency of DE&I from an individual person or function, and it places it squarely on everyone in the organization, right? And so I can talk a little bit about a framework that we've created, but I'll let you, maybe ask other questions and then we can get there.
So
It's an accurate representation.
She was way too excited. Sorry, I just had to make fun of her.
yeah, this is the woman who is the CEO of B.R.lDGE saying we're taking it off of the individual and making it a part of the bloodstream of every organization. Again, the point is so you can't escape. And we can listen to her talk a little bit more, and then I've got another quick video of this same woman on the left here talking to somebody else about how they're actually making that happen. But I think it's important that people see what their goal is, what the framework is that they're using, and who better to tell you other than the actual CEO of the corporation itself.
No, I mean, I would love to hear this framework because you are speaking my language, right? I have always been one that said this needs to be a part of the DNA of the organization.
That's right.
If something happened to the one person that's responsible, it should not make everything else fall apart. And so one of the things that we're noticing right now is so many organizations are letting go or cutting back the resources or funds to their diversity and inclusion offices, their chief diversity officers, etc. And people are just like, okay, so if that's gone, what else do we do? And it's like, it should be part of your DNA. It should be part of your everyday operations, regardless of which department you're a part of, and it goes beyond your employees. Like, how is it impacting the industry that you're a part of? How is it impacting your customers and clients? All of those things. And so, like I said, you're speaking my language. So, tell us a little bit about this framework, because I think, many of the people that listen to this show are, some are DEI practitioners, some are in HR or in culture teams, and some are just leaders, within their organizations that want to be more inclusive. And so if you could share that framework so people have an understanding of, okay, these are some things I need to be considering or thinking about.
Yeah. So, okay. So we decided kind of early on when we when we created B.R.lDGE, and and it should be said that we're still a young organization. We're not yet a toddler, but we're courageous, so we act like teenagers. And so very early on, I was connected. So I had worked in a past project with an incredible professor of marketing at Emory University, Dr. Omar Rodriguez Villa. And I was talking to him when I was creating Bridge, and I said, Omar, what research can we do that will change the trajectory and start to allow people, everyone in every company, to understand that inclusion is the job of all and not the job of one. And so together we created a research program called Voices of Inclusion. And what we wanted to do was to understand what the business practices were that contribute to equities or inequities in the marketplace. We focused on the marketplace because clearly there would be dependencies on the workplace, and there's not a lot of research out there on the marketplace, right? And
so they have moved into a completely different approach using Bridge, and they're not focusing on the individual businesses now. They're focusing on every aspect of it. And she ends up kind of going into, this is what we're, the goal is to make it so that, there is no escape. That's, the best way to kind of put what it is that they're actually doing. And it's scary stuff, really.
No, it is scary because it's social reprogramming, and people that are trying to live their best lives, they're basically just trying to go with the flow. I have friends that have called themselves conservative, but I'm like, dude, like this bullshit, that's going on. He's just like, it just happens. I'm like, no, it just fucking happened. Pompeii happened because Pompeii happened. Rome happened because Rome happened. It's like things will naturally go towards debauchery and failure if you don't stand up and push the other direction. That's the problem.
I hate that statement when people say that, things just happen. That total apathy, and it just no, dude, this is all, it's all coordinated, it's all pre-planned. Things just don't happen, it's just a way to pass the buck. I'm sorry, I hate it when people say that shit.
Yeah, you're absolutely right though. It's an excuse for just sitting back and allowing the ideologues to take everything over. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like gangrene. It's okay. It's just going to stop on my fingers. It's going to stop on my wrist. It's going to stop on my arm. Holy shit, I can't feel anything. I'm dead. It's just like people aren't willing to cut off that unhealthy part of their body, and that's what it is. It's that uncomfortable. You have to be like, okay, these people belong in an asylum. These people.
No, my computer just had a heart attack.
What's up?
My computer just had a heart attack. I think I might have to close the window and come back.
Oh no, you got the D-Day Cobra virus.
Yeah, that just happened.
Don't use Chrome, people. Don't use Chrome.
I'm using Brave.
I am too.
But yeah, it's my
It's the feds. The glowies are coming for you.
Yeah. Half of my screen is black, so I'm gonna maybe drop out of the call for just a second, and then I'll jump back in.
We'll bring you back in.
All right, sounds good.
Absolutely.
So I want to tell a story. I'm on a different Discord with a bunch of friends that we've been gaming with since 2016-ish, right?
Oh wow.
And half of the Discord have always been very hesitant to call things out against people. And just yesterday, no, maybe it was 2 days ago, I pointed out that they've been hesitant to point things out for the past 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
And they got mad at me. I'm like, bro, why are you getting mad at me? You're telling me there's a problem, and you have made 10 walls of text telling me how wrong I was in the past about the cultural shift, and here we are, and they got mad at me because I think I think they realized that, yeah, they are part of the problem because they were afraid to tell their other friends about these issues. And I don't even know what I could have done to make, it happen more efficiently or even happen altogether, because they're afraid. And I don't think if I pushed them harder that would have helped. It's just, man, some people are just hard-headed and they won't move unless it seriously affects them.
Oh yeah, no, people don't like to hear the truth, especially about themselves. All right, you point the truth about someone, they don't like it because they know deep down inside that it's something that they're going to have to work on. And this is, excluding what, I'm talking about just in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, also at the same time, this is the way I see it. If you want to wake up minds, it's sometimes to some people where you just go up to them, you shake them, you're like, hey, dude, this is what's going on. You get their head, you put it in front of the screen, you're like, dude, look what's going on. There's some people that'll be like, oh shit, okay, they'll get it, right? But a lot of people, they're I don't know if it's they're scared or what, but you have to be very gentle. And the way I say it, you have to plant seeds. Like,
yeah,
just
I've done that.
Is this true? I would assume it is true, but is this true?
Yeah, 3%. That's right. Yep, 3%. It's only 3% of the population that actually fought in the war. Everyone else was either apathetic or didn't care, or they didn't even want it. Most of the population did not even want to, and that's the thing. And I'm sorry to derail a little bit, but most of the population saw themselves as British. They weren't. They weren't like, oh no, we're true. American colonists. They were like, we're British. They wanted to be with the British. It just got to a tipping point where they're getting screwed over so much that the founding fathers and that 3% decide, hey, you know what, we're going to start a war over this. Or it depends on who, the way you look at it.
There's something wrong with Isaac. He dropped this knowledge that I didn't really ever think about or know about, but he can't spell Asian. I mean, holy shit, son.
Well, they're always
like, it's like pick one or the other. You must be like, you're like an idiot savant, Isaac.
Well, maybe he just really hates Asians.
That's kind of par for the course, because they always ruin your bell curve when you're in high school.
Yo Pops is here for that 25%.
You hate us because you ain't us. Sorry, man. What can I say?
No, but I mean, you need to cook me some bulgogi sometime soon.
Yeah, you're a chef. I mean, you can cook, right? Come on, man.
Oh yeah, I can make bulgogi, but I want somebody that defended their stores from the LA riots to cook my shit. Because if they can nail people coming into their shop, I guarantee you that the barbecue is gonna be on point. So.
Yeah, fuck, dude. I've been trying to find a good Korean barbecue place, but I don't know. It's kind of no, but
okay. I think I figured out what happened.
I mean, let me just finish up real quick. It's and I'm going to use as an example. It's like with my parents, right? I we would talk about this kind of stuff, and they're very like receptive to like differing opinions and things like that, right? But like they're very like just normies. You know what I mean? They just watch the regular news, but they're not like they're not like communists or left parts or anything like that, right? But I think after COVID, I think that's when they kind of realized, like, whoa, like things are on the way that they grew up, that they were told. You know what I mean? And the way I see it, you drop little hints, you drop little facts of knowledge here and there. Hey man, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Nothing crazy, not to like you have to shock them, because eventually something's gonna happen. And COVID, COVID's one of the big things that happened for a lot of people, where they're like, oh shit, all the things that these conspiracy theorists were telling me, it was true. So it just depends, man. It just really depends on the type of person you're talking to. But eventually, whether they figure it out on their own or, the big unlubed dildo of whatever, goes up their ass, they're going to figure that out, one way or another. So,
COVID was
we
definitely
have to
a
look at
waking
this
point.
drag queen that looks like the head of the WEF any longer, or
No, we're done. I think the fact that I'd full screen the video was what caused my brows to have a freak
look. If you have to wear a scarf in the middle of the summer, you're a fat mess. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But I just want to continue with Jessica's article for a minute here.
Ahead,
we don't have to read the whole thing, but
do what you got to do.
Okay. So there's also a section of the website called Bridge IMAX, which is described as, quote, the framework that lays the foundation for building inclusive brands and companies, end quote. They also state that business must, quote, measure inclusion maturity, end quote, which will in turn determine where gaps exist across the organization. The website lists 3 stages for how to achieve this, displayed by a couple of graphs, one being shown below. And let's see here. So you can see they have the brand inclusion maturity score. And this is kind of the high level goal that they're looking at across the board here. And this is maturity score by dimension over in this area. And they're slowly coming up with all of these aspects to try to get it to reach the top third of what it is that they're trying to do. Oh, great.
Here's my problem. As somebody that's worked in financial marketing for a while, where the these people, these idiots never supply a source.
No, never. It's all their own made up
or methodology.
Numbers.
Methodology is more important than source. Source I can give a fuck about. The methodology behind the source is what matters. You know, I remember Washington Post putting up stuff about the coup, and it's just like there's no source.
Yeah.
And all the women I'm related to are like, why does that matter? And I'm like, holy shit, the 19th Amendment, can we please repeal this right now?
Yes. Oh, God,
right
yes.
now. Right now while I
Such
shotgun a beer.
place.
Anyways, go ahead.
Okay, so she continues, money does not matter for them either. They possess infinite funds from BlackRock, Vanguard, and governments. There are also several well-known companies involved. Discover, Sephora, Unilever, H&R Block, and Campbell Soup, to name a few. The idea is to make DEI a part of the bloodstream of society at large, hence why they have a sinister goal of using brands to reach Gen Z. What better way to ingrain the poison that is DEI into society than by influencing the youth? It's as Carl Menninger, quote, states, what's done to children is done to society. Anything consumed in the mainstream is seen by children just as much as adults, and if left to their own devices, these ideas will become what influences them the most. And she's got a couple screenshots here. We won't read through the whole article. I encourage you guys to go read the rest of what she's got written here. But it's something that, you know, if you're not paying attention to all of it, you won't notice what their goal is and what it is that they're trying to do. I believe Kirsha has dug up links between Bridge and some of these video game consultant companies that are actually actively making the changes in these games. They are tied together definitively. These are all the same people. They're all working together, just like we saw in the first Gamergate, where we saw the journalists and the game developers working together to try to make us see and think what they wanted us to see and think.
So let me ask you, Hayden. If I'm a giant corporation, what's how are they going to try to incentivize my company to bring them in? Do you have any idea on that?
I think a lot of
like
what it
ideology?
is, it's ideology. It's that there are, I'm sure some people, if not all of us, have seen the videos where it came out of, I believe it was Gamescom 2018, where they said if your CEOs and your developers don't see what's happening here, tell them what will happen on Twitter if Twitter is made aware that they're not including this stuff. So it's by threat of coercion of public view. Even though we all know that that's not reality, these people that are sitting high up in these corporations, they don't understand that. They think that 3 people on Twitter that have less followers than I do, and I made my account yesterday, have a ton of influence as to what, is going to end up happening with their game or their movie or whatever it is that they're producing.
Well-
They threaten by coercion.
Well, to add on top of that, and then also, this kind of ties in with the whole with the financial system too. Money has a big part to do with it, and I know what they're trying to do is eventually, if you don't go along with the bridge and the DEI, you're not going to get a loan for your company. You're not going to get your line of credit for your company. I mean, and that kind of ties in with the whole CBDC aspect of things too, centralized digital currency and all that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's just a web. It's just complete web of like coercion from the public, the financial system, even government coercion as well. I mean, it might even get to a point where the government will come in and kick your door down for not, following all these laws. So,
Yeah, and it's one of those things where some people might not know who BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street are. But if you have a 401k, it's probably run by BlackRock, Vanguard, and State Street. They control 1/3 of the world's total wealth, and they're invested in each other, so they all own a percentage of each other's companies. They're the ones who are backing all of this financially. So if they say no, you're not allowed to have money,
then the other side will let you even. And it's so diabolical, but it's genius at the same time, right? It's like this bulkhead that they've created to where no matter where you go, they own everything. So let's say even if one company goes down, well, the other two companies are going to make sure that let's say Vanguard goes down with BlackRock and State Street, they're going to make sure that Vanguard is still going to get funded. So they're never going to fail.
Yeah, it's impossible because we are forced, basically, if you work a normal 9 to 5 and you have your retirement account, just because whenever you get old, you want to have a little bit of money, and you're trusting the investors who do this to invest in what you do. They work for the bad guys, so you're giving them your money to be able to continue to be the bad guys.
Yeah.
Just so you know, nothing is financial advice. I'm not telling anybody any way that they should or should not invest their money. I'm just telling you that those companies are doing nefarious things and have nefarious ends that they're trying to meet, and they're using your money to do it.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it's I wish I had more videos of the frat boys, because
Yeah, but it's not a black pill, because remember,
no, it's not a black pill.
you
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
change what you can in your life, in your tight-knit community that you're in, your job that you work. You just let your superiors know. Say, hey, these guys that the company's kind of working with, like, I just want you to see some of this stuff that they're doing, or they're trying to push this stuff, and I just want to know, can we just say that we're not going to be involved in any of this? And you can make a change. It doesn't happen all the time, but if enough individuals start to bring it up, sometimes the management that makes those financial decisions will go, okay, you guys don't want to do it, we're not going to do it. And that's all it takes.
Any company is a feedback loop, because you're hiring people, because you're like, okay, you're literally gatekeeping when you hire somebody every time you hire somebody.
Absolutely.
So when you do that, you're also, if you don't have a really good marketing or sales division that just kind of like it is beholden to the people that work at the company, it's going to be a feedback loop, and you're just going to get nothing but shit, which is why all this stuff with Helldivers is happening, because we got the Baskinator who basks in her own bacon fat. You fat fucking bitch. You suck. You're the one that's the cause of all these issues.
Yep.
Like the best picture that you could offer, and you still look like a fat 5 out of 10. Fuck off.
Those jowls.
Just saying,
5? That's rather generous. Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, she's Swedish, so that means, she knows how to cook something. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But I'm just saying, it's the fact that they are it's all these people. What it is, and it's been the same story throughout the entirety of humanity. The meek will try to take advantage of the strong, and that's what they're trying to do. They don't have the mental ability. They don't have. They don't have. You know, they basically coordinate with each other to, you know, like take over people that are more qualified. Like they want to destroy meritocracy because meritocracy would leave them flipping burgers. Which
Yeah,
what a lot of
absolutely.
yeah, and it's just like tough shit. Like I would work construction if it meant that I had to do that for my family, but a woman's like, oh, I can't do that shit. I can't. It's like because you don't understand that 99% of the people that work, like the fact that your toilet flushes without shit flying back in your face, is because of men. The fact
Yeah.
that your HVAC doesn't cause you to melt and die in your home because your AC melted is because of men. The fact that you can't open a jar is because of men. You know, you want those fucking tasty ass Vlasic pickles? It's because of me, motherfucker, because I can open them.
Hey,
All right.
and Mo, to your point about how you know their you know the left side, you know, as far as like their characteristics go, you know, they're weak and they have to like come together in order to take something over. That is, you know, that is part of their strength that we on our side do not utilize, because we have this individualism. You know what I mean? And
Yes. Sorry, I was really
and you know that's where, and like you said, that's where their strength is that they're able to unify and come together in order to get their God, what's the word I'm looking for here? Oh my God, their ideologies across, to get their thing across, to do their thing. And I think on our side we have to realize that we have to kind of employ the same tactics that they're doing. Even and that's one thing I notice about people on the right, is that if there's one thing that doesn't, you know, match, they tend to kind of like, oh no, like that's wrong, so we can't do this. It's like, no, like we have to like put a lot of differences aside. We have to, you know, unify on this like one thing in order to counteract what these people are doing. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Sorry, I'm rambling.
No. It's like here's the thing. As somebody that's been married for a while, there is, or if you have your mother, if your mother was a good woman, she was strong, but it was for a different reason.
Mhm.
Women are strong differently than men, and they want to obfuscate those lines because they want women to be like men and men to be like women, because if nothing is right, nothing is wrong, then nothing makes sense. Like my wife is a very strong woman. She is a nurse. She's very, very, very strong in that respect. She provides care to people. I can't do that shit. If I see blood, I'm like, fuck it. If it's my blood, I'm okay. If I see somebody else's blood, I'm like, get that shit away from me. You know, I just can't do that. You know, or like childbirth. You know, I was like what makes us amazing, strong people, and I'm not saying like amazing, but like amazing in the eyes of God, is, not to go too Christian there, but I am Christian. But what makes us amazing in our Maker is they're like women and men have many different strengths, but when you combine them, it makes something utterly amazing, and that's what they want to destroy. They want to destroy the nuclear family. They want to destroy oh, you want to fuck with my kid? All right. Unlike the college students, I'll grab a garbage can and I will beat the ever living shit out of you, and I will protect my family. You know, I'm not gonna run at you. I'm gonna bury your ass. I'm gonna Goldberg your ass. I'm gonna spear you. You know, if you try to mess with my family, and they don't like that. If you're single, you're separate. And if you're not part of a community, if you're part of the fellowship, which I know I'm not trying to say, if you're married for a boyfriend, girlfriend, that's why people hate the fellowship. That's why they want the fellowship of the 199 to go away, because we all love each other. We would help each other out in an instant. You know, every helpful iteration of getting along with each other and having I don't want to say community because I agree with Gary, but I'll say community. It's basically like where you can hold hands with somebody and hear their gripes and stuff like that. It's just amazing, and it gives you strength. It gives you strength to stand up to all the ills of society, and they want to destroy that. And as a marketer, they're doing a shit job. But for a normie that is just like watching commercials and watching ABC News, and they're like, yeah, it's fine. Trump's up 4 points in the polls. Like bullshit. Biden just shit his pants on stream. I had a toddler at one point. That motherfucker pooped in his pants. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, a lot of us are done with the bullshit. We want to we want to have a good society. We want to raise amazing kids, and to bring it back around to Hayden being on the stream. Hayden just the first time on stream, like I said, I was like Garth from the Wayne's World movie. I was like a deer in the headlights. And Hayden, I put him on solo, which I'm glad I did because you killed it. Because it needs to be clippable. Yeah, dude, you just totally broke it down in 3 minutes of why it's evil, and it wasn't a overwhelming. It wasn't a biased thing. It was just somebody that recognizes something bad going on, and they say,
Yeah, I mean, and
it's just not right. It's like you're just saying it's not just right. So
right, and I mean that's the position that I come from is being somebody who, yes, I was super political and stuff, but I've always been a gamer. Like, my favorite way to spend my time is playing games, and seeing what happened with SBI and these other companies starting to try to influence things. Like, I don't know if you guys saw the Fable trailer that came out. Like, I used to love the Fable games, and then, well, I love Fable 1. Fable 2 was and then Fable 3 kind of fell off. But they're coming out with a new Fable game. I heard that announcement, and I was like, oh, hell yeah, let's go. And then every shot of their female protagonist, it's like, that is the manliest jawline I have ever seen.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, Hayden, let me tell you, don't ever get excited for anything Microsoft ever makes ever again.
Nope. It's not happening.
They are probably the bottom part of the iceberg that you can't see on the bridge stuff, to be honest.
Absolutely. So, I would go as far as to say they're not even the bottom of the iceberg. They're the part that's just underneath the surface, because it's so much bigger than people really see. But whenever you look at the ties, who these people are connected with, you start to see that it's just a massive. We are at war. We are at war. And it's a global war against those of us who like common sense and understand the base reality, and the people who want to change that so that they can control every aspect of our lives.
Yeah.
Because they can't do it otherwise. They're too weak mentally and physically. They're using they're abusing the social contract that we all agree with. Like, when you interact with 99% of the people, you're just trying to get along. You're like, hey, things are good. I'm not going to fuck with you. I just want you to go about your day. I know you might have had a bad day at work. I know your kids probably, were spitting up overnight, your babies and stuff like that. But that's the problem with these people. The city I grew up in is being overrun. It's a legitimate, like, what do you call it? A refugee city.
Oh, a sanctuary city.
Yeah, sanctuary.
No. It's like a legitimate. Like, they got it right. It usually has Republican mayors. Like, it was just whatever reason it works out. And like, as I like to say, if you're from that area, you're only allowed to say if your food is good. So if your food's not good, we don't want you around, because it's like a foodie city. Like, it seems to be that way. It doesn't seem to play, but the GEs have weaponized that recently, and it wasn't even that way like 4 years ago for me, and I went back recently. They have a fucking festival in July. They have a whole month, and then they took over July. I cannot tell you. I went to the grocery stores because we stayed there at an Airbnb because we were visiting my wife's family. We were at Airbnb. I went to the grocery store. The smells I smelled from these fucking trans allies, where it was just like I wanted to buy some Brute cologne and just kind of like bite the tip off of it and throw it into the group of the what
Like
they
holy
does.
water.
Yeah.
Like a potential, I don't know, what would you call a thing that you pull a pin on and it explodes whenever you throw it?
I would say Drakkar
Yeah,
Noir
yeah.
is pretty disgusting. Drakkar Noir or Brute. I see. Okay, look. This is the lore behind the GCA and me, Mozamboni. I'll never get my mic right. Apparently, I'm just going to be low and I'm going to be
It was
late
a
and
little
gay
low.
for the rest of my life.
Yeah, Mo,
But,
I'll send you a new empty Campbell's can and a string so you can replace it.
Right? I need to. This is. Look, people.
Maybe it's
If
direct.
you're thinking about streaming and you're not sure,
Easy there, Yo Pops. That was quite the gesture you just made.
I'm serious though. Maybe it's like the top.
hey, we're an hour and a half in. He could actually do that in real life like he does, and we'd be okay. So.
How does it go again, Yo Pops?
like.
Oh, okay. Go at it, Beavers. Go at it.
Dude, this shit is hard, man. I worked in AV for years. Like microphones, this is a whole different thing, people. Like seriously. But dude, okay, so we're gonna have to end this soon. But seriously, there's a lot of really good stuff here. People that like we've had around. I would say on average about 16 people in this entire stream. That's amazing.
That's
like,
awesome.
Seriously. And I know you know how to clip, and I know you know how to share. I want you to take that part right in the middle of the video. We'll find the timestamps later on. I need you to share what Hayden said because it's the most concise, condensed, unbiased observation of what's going on right now. DEI was bad, but Bridge is way worse. It's like metastasized cancer. Like DEI was just a cancer in one part of your body. Bridge will kill everything if you let it. So make sure. And by the way, when Hayden starts his channel, because if he doesn't, it's an affront against humanity. But when he does, you had best follow it. And if you're in the GCA Discord, we will absolutely drop those links in there, and we will let you know when he starts like streaming.
Well, thank you for that.
For a man's first stream on camera, he has done an amazing job. He has done service to Jessica Lindstrom.
Very good.
And he's done a great job. Like seriously, it's one thing to explain the evil of an ideology. It's another thing to do it in a soundbite. And you've done a great job. And I wish nothing but success going forward, sir. And you should absolutely go get it.
I appreciate that. And right now, since I was bothered to go out and buy the microphone, I think
he probably spelled it HADYEN because he's a retard. So hopefully he followed you.
I think I'll have something coming. With me being on Twitter now, it's my girlfriend and I went and watched The Fall Guy today, right? And as we came out of the movie, my second tweet ever was my quick little short, concise, like just kind of what I thought of it. And man, you guys have been awesome. Like I've got I don't even remember how many followers it is, but the fact that there's more than 2, because I was on Twitter 10 years ago, something like that, but I never made a single tweet. I just used it to like look at news. And then I just deleted it one day. I was like, I don't use it. I don't need anything to do with this. Like, whatever. But I make the Twitter, and within a couple hours, I'm up over like 50 followers on Twitter. Ooh. And I'm just following people left and right. Like, yes, everybody's here. Okay. And I was talking to my girlfriend after we finished the movie, and I was like, I'm worried because I have a Twitter now. And she goes, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I used to pick fights with people on that's 83.
That's
That's
fucking amazing.
crazy.
That's great. Sorry,
That's
I had to share
crazy.
that.
I was
really
telling Hayden last night, don't
Well,
argue with
okay,
people.
okay, let's be serious. It's Isaac. It could be 38 because this guy's
That's right.
Sorry, Alec Baldwin. I had to go with the dyslexic.
No, it's true. He does get some stuff backwards. He might be dyslexic, so.
Hey, Isaac, is it 83 or 38? Take your time.
But yeah,
But,
it's been awesome. Like, you know, deciding to actually like just jump into the internet and like, fuck it. I'm here to hang out with you guys and have fun and just talk about shit that I care about, and whatever happens, happens. I used to argue with people on the internet for fun, and I'm worried that Twitter is going to become the, you know, because it's the saying of like, hey, no, you can look at the poo on Twitter, don't touch the poo. I don't know if I'll be able to stop myself. Like, I might have to like interact with some of those weirdos just for the fun of it.
They will reply to every single reply that you make.
Oh, I love it whenever people hate me. It's so much fun.
Oh man.
No, you don't pay him any mind. That's the best part. You just like I just do it naturally. You just, you know, if they don't get a response, they want a response. That's their whole life is to be like.
That's true.
They're like all edgelords. So if you give them nothing, they're like, yeah, you know.
Yeah, don't know what to do. It's hard to be a reply guy whenever there's nothing to reply to.
Because I don't care. Like, I just like literally, I don't have a stool and a rope, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe someday I'll join. I'll join the 42%. No, I have a happy life because I'm a red-blooded American, and I love my family and I love my friends because they know how to take a joke and they know how to espouse, you know, they know how to share information to help people not be taken advantage of. That's the whole thing. The problem with people like staying in the background, they just like, but it's like as the old country song goes. I can't remember the singer, but if you don't stand for anything, you'll fall for anything. Like you have to be like, this is my line. No zippers across my daughter's chest. No wigs on my son, and you know, none of that stuff. And it's like that's not the fact that it's even a line. Anyways.
Well, I mean, the problem was, you know, that we have the term the line in the sand, and we had a lot of people that decided to set their line in the sand after they had already crossed the point where they put the line. Like they're well, now this is a problem. It's like we already did that. You're 5 years late, bro. Like, you should have been paying attention before, because we've already crossed that threshold.
Yeah, dude. Like you're missing out, dude. Like you have a good cadence. You have a great voice, and your stream of consciousness is like, honestly, like I like, this is the problem with me is like I'll just kind of go off on a journey, and I'll be like, okay, shit, I didn't leave any breadcrumbs. Where did I go? Like, you bring it back around, dude. Like, everybody in the chat, please tell Hayden 75. Because we still have 15 people here. Most people duck out 45 minutes ago because it's supposed to be an hour-long stream that's easily digestible. We wanted to make, but it's so important because of the reason we talked about behind the scenes. But it's marketing used to weaponize the idiocy of the lazy people in America, and they need to know because they don't want to be lazy. They just love they love the comfort. And they just have to be uncomfortable. Uncomfortability is a good thing, people. That's how you get better. That's how you be a better person.
That's where growth comes from.
That's where growth comes from, yes. And
I just figured out that I could see the chat in StreamYards like 10 minutes ago. So that's okay. That's cool. Sorry for anybody that I missed.
You've been drinking. I don't know what you've been drinking most of the stream, but it looks very bundle of six-ish. So.
Oh, yeah. It's just... Tito's vodka and club soda.
Oh, yeah, man, you guys thinking what? Drink right
so good. That sounds so good.
I mean,
okay.
And I like to drink in my fancy glass. So,
hey, he's a good man. But seriously, this man has he has a on-screen presence. Like, seriously, everybody in the chat, tell get on. No, actually, not even on here. That's not even a big deal. Get on Twitter and you let him know that you want to see him on stream. You need to push it. GCA. Support this man. Push him. If he decides he doesn't want to do something, say fuck you. Get out of your truck and record something. So
Thank you.
But
Thank
seriously,
you. That's
dude,
very
you've done
kind.
like it's been an experience. Has been awesome. I'm gonna go around the panel here. Yo Pops, do you have anything to plug except for people trying to break into your store?
I do have a YouTube channel, Yo Pops 215. Don't have anything yet. I know I keep on saying I'm gonna do some. I'll figure it out. I'm on X, Yo Pops 215. I'm on Instagram, Spicy Taco OC, and yeah. Want to find me? You can find me.
And ABF, which by the way, I gotta say, I was on ABF's Off the Hip stream. That's gonna be the banger because that is like weaponized nerddom. Like if you could snort it through your nose, that's what ABF's Off the Hip stream is. It's so much fun. I was so annoyed when he ended it. When he did, it needs to last 4 hours. All right. So, but anyways,
no, we're keeping it 1 hour for now. We just
I know, but it's so fun.
We've gone over topics. We just start talking about gaming, and it just goes. So.
But by all means, please plug your channels like you plug the production assistants. Go ahead.
Yeah, tomorrow night is going to be the third episode of Off the Hip. Let's see. I'm going to have, I think, Nerd Slap back. He was feeling ill last week. Mo, if you want to come on. Nagernal and possibly Jake, Big Dog Jake. But yeah, other than that, I'm over on the GCA channel, and you can follow me on Twitter.
And by the way, Hayden knows the deal. The GCA Discord is this accidental thing that is just like taken off. It's
awesome.
It's wholesome.
It's so cool.
Like seriously, it's really awesome. So you need to join. I'm going to tell everybody here right now. I mean, we only have 16 viewers, so it's not like it's going to be like broadcast across the internet. We are going to do everything we can to not take this thing public. Never take your Discord public because it kills the Discord. Like seriously, keep it to yourself because you know what? Our Discord is amazing. They're supportive. They have a lot of fun. They're engaged. They're the most wholesome group of people you'll ever meet. They give it to you straight, and they're amazing people. And that's the best thing about it. Like you get feedback for whatever you do, and it's not going to be filtered, and that's why our Discord rules. Hail the GCA.
Hail the GCA.
And Brisket for a Biscuit called out what Christy Mayer named our GCA.
that was funny. That was good.
You know what's funny is Gary seriously, he's like, you got to be careful with those acronyms, which is not an acronym, it's an abbreviation. You fucking
and we're like, that's exactly why we did it.
Yeah, that's exactly why we did it. I gave it up. You can go find it. I did an appearance on a show a few months ago. Mm-hmm. You can find what the actual thing. And people are like, you just told them the name of the channel. I'm like, guarantee you they don't know what it is. So,
but that's part of the fun of it. I love how you guys have leaned into it. Every time people would come in and just be like, "Is it this?" You're just like, "Yeah."
Holy shit! Have you seen Denki? Have you seen Denki's suggestions? I'm like, maybe you should do that. Like Denki's a piece of shit. Like I love Denki, by the way. If you haven't seen my stream with Denki, Denki is such a salt of the earth person, and he's a giant ass person. He said he's 6'4", which means he's probably 6'6". So,
it's always the real tall ones that knock it down by a couple inches.
He's the guy that dunks without any effort. Like he's in his sandals. He's like, oh, okay. Me, I'm like working out in the backyard and shit. But
and Denki's level of talent with just deciding he was going to start animating.
Yes, he's not an animator.
It's crazy, man. He's doing some superior quality stuff, and he's memeing it.
Confirmed. Isaac Strupp.
Well, he's puffing his chest because I told Nagernal to time him out for the LGBT GCA comment.
That's all right. But seriously, like Hayden, if this doesn't get you want you to get into it. We were so nervous, but you you've laid down information that is very pertinent to everybody. I'm
Well,
telling
thank you.
one more time. Please clip that part. That's why I put them on solo layout. Please clip that part and share it, because it's not denigrating. It's not being insidious against another ideology. It's just laying out the facts.
And that's all I wanted to do, was bring, to people's, there's a lot going on in the world, and sometimes you need to have somebody go, hey, all the key jangling aside, like, look, this is something that's happening. And Kirsha has done a ton of work. Again, all credit goes to her for digging this stuff up, because she dug it up, and she's got, again, like, if you guys have the time, I would recommend you go back and you look through her Twitter threads, and you find all the things that she's pointed out, read what she's talked about, watch any of the streams that you can, because she's put a ton of time into this, and that's the only reason I know anything about it. She found it, and I've took it upon myself a bit to say, hey, I just got to show everybody else what's going on. It's not disparaging anyone. It's just, these are the facts. This is what's happening, and people need to pay attention.
And maybe shining light on it this early will make it die sooner.
I certainly hope so, because the only way we can, the only enemy that you're able to defeat is the enemy that you can see.
Yep.
If you can't see your enemy, you will lose. Yep. And it's important that we catch them before they're able to mobilize completely, because once they do, there's no stopping that wave that's going to infect every aspect of life. We have to find them now. We have to notice them. And we have to speak out about them. Otherwise, they'll sneak another victory in, just like they did with the first Gamergate, where we lost, but we're able to say, see, we were right.
Yeah.
We just didn't take it far enough.
Yeah, no, and that's the whole thing. And if I can impart any kind of wisdom, if that's what you want to call it, upon the chat or anybody else on the panel, marketing is a very important thing. Like, you cannot put on your tinfoil hat and yell. You have to. You can still get your point across with assertion, but you have to have an open line of dialogue. You're never going to get it by yelling at people. That's what the left does. What the right does is we engage, and we engage in good faith, but we engage in a strong fashion. We need to do that. Like, as long as you listen to the other side, you don't have to agree with anything they say. You don't have to move the line. You don't have to back up, but you have to open up a reasonable line of dialogue with good faith. As long as you do that with what Hayden just told you tonight, you'd be surprised how many people stew on that, and they'll change their opinion, because most people, whether they're left, right, or center, are great people. They would take a bullet for you if you're friends with them, and you have to approach it that way. So that's the only thing I gotta say. Don't get so accelerated that you want to destroy the other people. Now, if they're trying to break into your house because they're trying to say free Palestine, then yeah, drop them. But
different
yeah. If they're breaking in your house, then just check with Andrew Bronca what your rules are for self-defense in your state. So, but with that being said, I would like to absolutely, like, seriously, I feel like we just had, like, somebody just opened up for Queen, and it was like this band called Metallica, and his name is Hayden 75. Like, seriously, I feel like we're just one step of him going on to greater things. Seriously, Hayden, I wish the best for you. You're very eloquent in your words. Unlike Isaac, because you can't spell Asian because he's an asshole. But I hope.
Wasn't talking about the Asians. See, you're the racist. He was talking about a different group of people.
Yeah, but whatever the Asians is, the Asians. I identify as Asia. I identify as dyslexic Asian. So
there's no such thing as dyslexic Asians.
That's right. Well, yeah, because anyways. I'm going to leave that there. So, hey, we went 2 hours tonight. We've had around 15 people all night. Like, seriously, that is enough to change the world. If you share it with your friends, if you share what Hayden said in the middle of the stream, and we'll share it on Twitter sometime soon. We really thank you for being in here. This has been a very robust chat. Hayden75 is a gosh darn celebrity, and I
Thank
wish
you
nothing
guys
but the
so
best for him.
much for
So
having me on and
Dude.
it just letting me talk and rant for a couple of minutes. Like it's been awesome, and just hanging out with you guys and hanging out with the chat. I know I wasn't as active in the chat as I usually am, but I'm on one laptop. My microphone's sitting on top of it. It's hard to type. So hi guys, I've been reading your messages. I'm sorry I hadn't been able to respond to everybody, but thank you guys so much for coming out, watching the stream, and thank you guys for having me on. Like this has honestly it's been so fun, and it's been awesome to be able
dude,
to
you're a natural talent. Like seriously, Yo Pops, Alec Baldwin's finger. Do we agree?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Molly doesn't. You put Molly to sleep, but everything puts Molly to sleep, so it's okay. She's the little puppy. She's my favorite doggo.
That just means my voice was soothing enough that she was able to lull to sleep.
There we go.
Well,
There we
sure.
go.
Whatever makes you sleep at night.
It makes me happy.
Molly sleep at
Okay.
night, yes.
No, but thank you.
I'm trying to figure it out, man. This is hard.
Slow-mo. That's good.
I'm
Oh,
trying.
That's good. Oh, my
That's your
God.
new name. Holy.
Slow-mo.
Slow-mo.
Oh,
That's okay.
shit.
There was a guy named Captain Slow on Top Gear, and all he is a millionaire. So if I get there, I'm okay with that. I'll be
Whatever
slow-mo.
helps you sleep at night.
Yeah, whatever
old
helps you
James
sleep
May.
at night. I'm trying to figure it out, but seriously, this of all the streams we've done, like, okay, next time, Hayden, we need to get on stream with Drunken Sailor. Like, we were trying to acclimate you. Drunken Sailor, like, you just got, like, intermediate mode. It's like the one where you're like, okay, I don't want to get my ass beat, but I'm not, like, going to play easy. We're bringing Drunken Sailor on the next one. You better bring your A game, because Drunken Sailor don't fuck around, and he's
Let's
amazing.
go.
So.
Let's
fucking
go.
love it.
Let's fucking go.
I've seen him stream. Like, he's
Dude.
such an awesome dude.
He is a
Make sure your schedule's
he
cleared, Aiden, because he's, he knows his shit. And
Oh,
he
bro,
goes off,
I
man.
love getting fired up. I love getting fired up, and with people
You know
who
what to do,
generally
Nagranol.
agree with me, and we can just start going at it. It'll be a ton of fun.
Oh, dude,
Love-
yeah,
love Drunken
but
Sailor.
dude, you did
Shout
an
out.
amazing job. We were all
Thank you.
nervous the
Thank
first time we
you.
did stream. So seriously, okay. So pay attention to Twitter. Pay attention to the GCA. Whenever Hayden75 starts his next channel, you go raid him and you follow him, because you're going to get a care package of knowledge dropped on your ass. So
I'll do
to
it,
everybody,
man.
Can I just say one more thing? Can I just say one more thing while Hayden's here?
Yeah, absolutely.
MCU fan, if you're listening right now, don't go begging to Hayden to tell the chat to stop spamming Chris emojis, all right?
Listen, the only thing that I ever handle anywhere that I mod is people spamming dumb shit, and I don't count emojis as dumb shit. So,
Well, if you don't think
I can't do
MCU fan is dumb shit, that's a incredibly low bar.
you know, dude, I'm a mod on Flash's channel. Like, that shit that comes through there, that's a whole. Ugh. So yeah, everywhere else.
Well, you want to talk about a
lazy mod who
cliffhanger?
doesn't
Next time we
do it.
bring you on, we'll have to ask you about the chicken emojis. But don't say anything.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah. So seriously, everybody, if you haven't been entertained by Hayden75, you need to get off the Valium. He's really awesome.
No,
It's
thank you
been a
guys so
blast.
much.
Like, your ability to encapsulate a very complex subject in such a cognizant way is awesome, and we need more people like you in this world. And I'm so glad you used our platform to say what you had to say. But you need to go on your own journey, and I guarantee you're going to be successful. So everybody, pay attention when Hayden starts his channel, because if he doesn't, you better shame him. But thank you for watching The Reluctant Rebel. As always, if you feel like you can't do anything, just fight back and do what you can. Don't be reluctant, be a rebel. Thank you, and good night.
Good night.
Later, everyone.